You do have some mayors pushing back on this whole sanctuary city idea. I mean, it's really a head-scratcher as to why the law was just blown off in terms of sanctuary cities.
You know,
how is it possible that Rahm Emanuel can say, you're safe, you're illegal, you're safe in Chicago?
And take a look at the front page of the Wall Street Journal today and look at the city that's leading America in murder. Chicago.
Chicago.
The reality is there are a lot of arguments about immigration where both sides can have rational positions. Here's one that nobody has a rational position about. An illegal immigrant who commits a crime should not be allowed to stay in the United States, should not be given sanctuary in the United States. I've met too many mothers, too many fathers of young people who were killed by illegal immigrants who were allowed to stay here, people who had committed crimes already. I'm not talking about illegal immigrants who are working somewhere hidden away. That's a different kind of issue. It has to be dealt with. I'm talking about ones that have committed serious crimes, violent crimes, drug crimes. They get to stay here.
Right. That's what I don't understand.
That makes no sense at all. They should be in detention, and then they should be deported.
Reports say that the U.S. government has begun secretly requesting that select foreign visitors enter information regarding their social media accounts. What do you make of this?
I think that's what Donald Trump talks about when he's talking about extreme vetting. We're going to have to find out more about these people. We have to find out their backgrounds. When you come from a country where there is a significant amount of terrorism, where we know they're training people to be terrorists, we're going to have to do a lot more vetting than we normally do, which would include taking a look at their social accounts. That may, in fact, be the only thing we have. Some of these countries don't have records like we have, criminal records and records like we have. But if they've been tweeting, if they've been on Facebook, if they've been on the social media, we can have some idea of what they're about. And none of these records are private. If you're putting it out there, I can go look at it.
Isn't it incredible, though, that our border agents were told, don't look at social media? I mean, that's...
You can look at social media.
But
I can look at social media.
Don't, that it's profiling.
That's totally ridiculous.
It's totally ridiculous.
If you send out a tweet, the whole world can look at it. Why can't the Border Patrol look at it? That's totally... Some of the policies that Donald Trump is changing are policies that just defy common sense. And if we restore common sense, we're going to restore a lot more safety to this country.
Well, can you compare the borders in America to the borders in Europe? I mean, all of this talk about the southern wall and the southern border and the wall going up. I mean, it's not the way you see it in Europe.
No, in Europe, first of all, as I said, if you get, given the fact that there's the EU, if you get into the country that has the least amount of protection, maybe none, the least amount of vetting, maybe none, you're in Europe.
Right.
So you get it to Greece, you're embarrassed. I mean, you can just take a train, just like this guy who, found himself ultimately in Milan.
Right.
Even though
people are worried about Mexico and that border in terms of terrorists coming in that way.
Well, they should be worried about it. I mean, the reality is when large numbers of people can come in undetected, even if the large number are essentially coming into work and they're not harmful in that sense, they're not criminals.
Yeah.
You can sneak in 20, 30, 40 very bad people with them, including terrorists. And don't think they don't realize that. They have also written about that, about using that as a way of exploiting us. There are over 1,000 FBI investigations of Islamic terrorists in the United States. That's a lot.
That is incredible.
And that's a number as of about 4 months ago. I suspect it's higher now.
Mr. Mayor, we are all really happy to see you back on the program. A lot of people wondering what's going on with Rudy Giuliani. Are you going to take a job within the Trump administration?
I wrote President-elect Trump, my very good friend of 28 years, a letter, I think it was on November 27, 28, saying that I didn't want to be considered for a government position, that I want to do everything I can to help him. I'm a vice chair of the transition committee. I'm doing everything I can to help with the transition. I'll do everything I can to help him from the outside. If there's something I can do that he thinks nobody else can do, or that I can do better or well.
So you're going to stay as a private citizen.
But I'm too happy in my law firm, in my cybersecurity practice, in all the security work that I do around the world, and the legal work that I do.
But there's growing speculation, Charlie Gasparino reporting, growing speculation within the FBI that you might take the job replacing Jim Comey.
There'll be a lot of speculation, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I change my mind, but I haven't changed it. I'm staying in the private sector.
So you're not going to run the FBI?
I'm going to remain at Greenberg, Traurig, and Giuliani Partners and do what I do, and hopefully develop the best solution to cybersecurity in the world. That's my dream. My dream is to try to solve the cybersecurity problem, and I can't tell you I'm on the verge of doing it, but I'm getting there.
And this is a serious threat.
Yeah, and I think that's going to get solved in the private sector. All our big problems ultimately get solved in the private sector. And I go to Israel 3-4 times a year to El Alam, look at all of their different new things that they're doing. I travel all over the world looking at cybersecurity defenses. And what we've allowed happen to us is we've allowed our offense on cyber to get behind our defense. I want us to catch up.
We're going to be watching the developments. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Rudy Giuliani there. We'll